Hello, and welcome to our daily live show where we are talking about immigration, answering your questions, and streaming every day for the past 19 days. Tomorrow is our last day of the streak, but of course, we'll continue to do our live streams every single week. Today, we are talking about the new proposed Senate bill that will be voted, I think, on Wednesday. It was introduced yesterday, and we're going to be talking about it, explaining the bill, and you know, answer your questions about it. It's a pretty extensive bill. It has a lot of provisions in it, and I think it's important to address it, answer questions, and kind of see what's going to happen. In the meantime, as we start the show, let me know where you are tuning in from. We have YouTube, Facebook group, and Instagram live right now, and we are adding um, TikTok as well on the live stream. So yeah, just let me know where you're from, and we'll start talking about the bill that is going to be introduced at the Senate, and I'm going to go over the bill. I'm going to um, go over the key provisions. I have it right here on the screen. I kind of summarize it a little bit, and we have Valeria, Damien. Hey guys, let me know where you're from. Um, tuning in. A lot of people are here every day on our live streams, and I appreciate it. But today it's important to discuss the Senate proposed bill. I'll go over the bill. Welcome our TikTok community as well. The people are joining right now, and let me know again where you're joining us from. You can post your questions in the comments, and I'll be answering them. But I'll give you a little bit of overview of the bill. So let's jump right. King Khan is here as always. Appreciate you, my friend. All right, so let's look at the and again, those of you that are watching this on YouTube, you can see the bill. I'm posting it on the screen, and I'm going to explain it. Those of you watching it on TikTok, I'm going to verbally explain the bill, and I'm going to go over the provisions that I listed one by one. So, but if you want to see the actual breakdown of the bill, it's here on YouTube. Those of you watching it on YouTube, and all right, let's start talking about this. So, yesterday, Sunday night, they introduced the bipartisan border security package. This is an overall package that is not just about immigration. It's also financial aid for Ukraine and in Israel, and also border restrictions and provisions. But also, we've got in this bill quite a few interesting things that could help certain immigrants. As I mentioned in the video that I've done earlier on TikTok, there were no specific provisions for dreamers, unfortunately, but it doesn't mean that we're not going to see any other specific bills for dreamers. I think the reason why they didn't include the dreamers there is because they're trying to focus more on the border and things that are related around um, uh, visa shortages. But let's jump into the bill, and then I'll take questions from TikTok. You can drop the questions in the comments, and then we're also going to go on video. All right, so the border security package essentially reasserts control of the border, enhances security, fixes the asylum system, um, provisions for immigrants who are currently in the United States to help people who are currently in the United States with their status, with their work permits, and of course supports border communities. So let's run through the provisions of this particular bill, and then I'll answer your questions, and I'll do my best to do this as quick as I can. And those of you watching this on TikTok as well. So let me see here. those of you watching this on TikTok, I will be able to answer your questions at the end of the breakdown of the questions of the bill. So the first thing that they mentioned in the bill is creating a new removal authority and moving the asylum process out of courts. So essentially, they're going to make the asylum process a little bit quicker by giving authority to immigration officers to process the asylum at the border. Right now, there are about 3 million cases pending in the immigration courts. And as a result, the process is taking more than 10 years, sometimes even more than that. We have a lot of people that are asking how long the asylum process is going to take. And they're going to try to create some sort of a process that will help asylum seekers to go through the process a little bit faster. They're trying to create an authority to adjudicate this in 6 months or less by having asylum officers, not judges, process these cases. They're going to end the catch and release and close loopholes for parole. So basically requiring detention or mandatory supervision of all immigrants processed at the border. They're going to make sure that people are following through the asylum process and not disappear into the country. So right now they're processing asylum cases and people are being released, and they're going to stop that because they feel that people don't show up for the hearings anymore, and they feel that people are abusing the current system by showing up, claiming asylum, but then never showing up for hearings. They're going to be changing that. They're going to stop the use of parole to enter the country at ports of entry, and so people that need humanitarian parole are going to be able to come to the United States urgently. Anybody else is going to be done on a case-by-case basis. They're going to raise the asylum screening standard and streamline the initial asylum interview. They're going to raise screening standards, ensure that not only migrants with legitimate asylum claims are going to be able to enter the United States. So maybe they're going to come up with a different way to interview people at the border and decide if they qualify for asylum or not. If they don't qualify for asylum, they're going to send them back. And they're going to consolidate the asylum interview into one single process to make it more efficient and probably faster. They're going to create a border emergency authority. It's called BAA, and this is going to be new temporary expulsion authority to be used when people exceed DHS capacity. So, for example, they're going to give the government authority to shut down the border if, for example, the daily average of people coming to the border is 4,000 over a week. At that point, let's say there's over 4,000 people coming to the border over a week, DHS could close the border to all people that don't have appointments. They're going to create a special adjustment act for people from Afghanistan. So it's going to be a path for green card status for 10,000 of Afghan nationals who served the country and were evacuated by the US. So kind of like the Cuban adjustment status, people from Afghanistan will and who arrived to the United States as refugees are going to be able to get a special path for green card. This is something interesting, which we have never heard of it before, but they announced it in the bill. Another interesting provision is that they're going to create a work authorization for certain individuals. So those people that are currently working in the United States, their family members. So let's say if you have an H-1B visa or any other work visa, your family members will be able to get a work permit and work in the United States. And even certain children under 21 as well. They're gonna issue. They're going to improve the processing of visas by injecting into the system 250,000 new employment and family-based visas per year for 5 years. So if you think about that, 250,000 visas within 5 years, these are going to be family and employment visas, which means that it's going to make it faster for siblings to immigrate, children of green card holders and spouses of green card holders. Right now, if the wait, let's say, is 5 years for a particular visa, it's going to cut down maybe to 1 year or two. So that's incredible. So that is one of my favorite things of that bill. injecting 250,000 extra visas into the green card process. Right now, there's a shortage of green cards. That's why there's such a big backlog. That's going to improve the MVC process. That's going to improve F2A, F2B, F4 categories. Imagine 50,000 visas per year in addition to what they have right now. It's huge. That's going to also help documented dreamers. If you are here, a child of a visa holder, and right now, if you turn 21, you have to leave the country. They're going to create provisions for those kids to stay in the United States and be able to live and work here. Thanks, Nelly. Thanks for all the hearts and likes. Don't forget our challenge right now, the Fire Challenge. Also, they're going to increase work authorizations for applicants of U visas, VAWAs, and other statuses that are legitimate. They're going to be able to get work permits faster. And also, so these are the kind of major things. And again, remember that the reason why it's happening, thanks, Kat, I appreciate it. The reason why it's happening is, remember, it's kind of like part of a bigger bill trying to fund Ukraine, Israel. It's very political because, they want to appease the Republicans as well. They want to show, listen, we're protecting the border. We're going to shut down the border if more people are going to come. But in exchange, you guys have to give us work permits, more visas for immigrants, speed up the process of people getting green cards. What are the chances of this bill to pass? It's hard to say. It's going to through the Senate. It's have to pass the Senate, obviously, and after Senate, it's going to go to the House. If it passes the House, it will go to the president, but it's very unlikely that we'll pass the House. Maybe the Senate. Remember, we need 60 senators to be able to vote on this, for this to work. 60 senators is doable. Is it going to happen this time? I don't know. All right, guys. So that's kind of like the general update. Let's jump into the questions about the bill, about everything else. Like I said, this is, I told you before, this is the beginning. I don't know if this bill is going to pass, but it's a beginning that tells us that there's going to be some kind of, they're working on immigration reform. Why didn't they include DACA in this bill? You're asking me? Well, they didn't include DACA in this bill because they're going to have a separate bill just for DACA. Just like they've included the Afghan Act into this bill. They're trying to legalize certain classes of immigrants. They will have a separate bill just for DACA. I'm telling you that. It's going to happen. It will happen probably after maybe some kind of a court case that was going to happen. They're going to try to cancel it. But there will be a DACA bill. I think there will be. And that's the reason why they didn't include it in this one. But let's see what happens. Let's see if this bill will pass Senate. Let's see if it's going to go anywhere. There's some really good things in this bill. There's some really concerning things in this bill, of course, but it's a beginning. Let's see here. Valeria is waiting 14 years for her application to join her family. Of course, I get you. Healthy is asking, my citizen brother filed for I-130 10 years back. For me, as an Indian, he shifted from Chicago. Texas Service Center shows 43 months. Will my case be approved? Texas Service Center is very slow right now. And that's the result why your cases are taking so long. F2B visa priority date 2015 October, final date action. No, it's not approved yet. You still have to wait a little bit longer. But remember, if this bill passes, we're going to get 50,000 extra visas per year to speed up the process. Okay, let's see here. We've got a lot of people here asking questions. Could you please tell us anything about asylum seekers in limbo? You know what I mean. Well, again, asylum seekers are in limbo because it's taking over 10, sometimes 11 years for your court to be heard. The reason why, if you look at what the bill is going to do, this particular bill, they want to speed up the asylum processing. They're going to be taking it away from the courts, assigning more immigration officers to process your case. And that may be something that we're going to see very useful, hopefully happening in the next year or so. Curious asking, do I have to change my last name for adjustment of status if I marry a US citizen? You don't have to do that. You can change your name for free when you apply for citizenship. You don't have to really do that when you apply at the green card level. And those of you guys who are on TikTok, if you want to join on video, you can request to join on video. I will allow people on YouTube as well to join on video. I'm going to drop the link in the comments, and you guys can join on video if you want, as we do every day. Ask questions on video on YouTube. Aluja is asking, will this bill help F1 family categories? Yes, this bill could help. So think about it. Right now, there's a limit of about 34,000 green cards per year per category. Imagine if they inject 50,000 visas per year for all these categories employment. It's going to speed it up. It's going to probably cut by half the wait time for some of these visas. That's a huge, huge, huge change. So if this bill passes, it will help a lot of people, obviously. It will also help people that are currently in the country who are not able to work to be able to work, especially spouses of visa holders. It will also help those young children who are here in the country and they're about to age out. They're going to be able to stay with their families and be able to live and work in the United States. So it's huge. How does someone expedite their case, Christine? Well, I've done a live stream about it a couple of days ago. If you can expedite your case, if you're trying to expedite with USCIS, you can use hardship, financial hardship, medical emergency, and employment situation. If you're trying to expedite with NVC, you have to use hardship to the US citizen. If you're trying to expedite with USCIS, you have to use hardship to the immigrant. It's kind of weird how it works, but that's usually how it works. How can I make an appointment with you? Is Miss Angie is asking. So if you're watching this on TikTok, remember what you have to do is use the link in my bio, or you can use the phone number. There's a phone number in my bio. You can use either the phone number or the link, and it's the same thing. Whatever is easier for you. The team is waiting to answer your text messages once you text. So just go to the link in my bio. There's a number there. Please use it, and you can use it to book. Also, we can help clients in all 50 states, and because immigration is federal, so we can help clients in all 50 states. But yes, go to the link in my bio, or there's a phone number listed right there. Click that, use the number. And for those of you watching on YouTube, you guys have another number. That's the number on the screen right now. Use it to book a consultation. Just mention that you were on the live. You can use it right now. Somebody will answer you and just mention you on the live, ask your question, and book a consultation with me or a team member. Amber is asking, I'm a DACA recipient since the last 10 years. I filed my VAWA in October. My DACA is up for renewal in July, but I'll like to keep my DACA status until the VAWA is approved. That's a good strategy. Do not cancel your DACA until you have your green card. You can file you can file the green card, but don't cancel your DACA. That's what I'm saying. Nelly is asking, tell us about when you came to the United States for the first time. Sure, absolutely. So for those of you who don't know, the reason why we're streaming every single day is because we are celebrating 20 years anniversary of our law firm. And tomorrow is going to be the last day of the streak. And then we'll enter into a different streaming schedule, which I'll let you know. I came to the United States about over 20 years ago, 23 years ago to study here. And then I came on a student visa. I went to law school. I came as an F1 student visa. Then the law firm that I interned for, they sponsored for my green card. They sponsored my work visa. So I had an H-1B visa. And I literally got my H-1B visa on the last month of my student visa. I was very desperate to find a job, but I did find a job. And then the following year, the law firm sponsored my green card, EB3 category. I was also EB3 as a skilled worker, as a legal writer. And I got my green card, and I became a U.S. citizen in 2006. I became a U.S. 2008. I became a U.S. citizen in 2008, and it was definitely a crazy journey. I remember that when I was on my H-1B visa, I was always like, you never know if you'll be able to renew it or be able to stay here. Um, every immigration lawyer I was talking to never gave me the answers I needed. It's almost like vague. And so when I started my firm, the first thing we did is we wanted to create a blog, which is called the Visa Lawyer blog. It's still around for 20 years now. And the point was that we wanted to create a resource for immigrants to be able to learn for free about immigration. That's why we have our YouTube channel. We produce videos every week, our TikTok, our Instagram, LinkedIn. We have a full production team right now that helps me. I mean, you see my face, but we have a whole team that helps research, provide the information for you guys. It's all for free. And the point is that we want to make sure people know as much as they need about their status and immigration. And we'll be able to help you with that. So that is my story. But you can ask me any question, and I'll keep answering the questions on TikTok. We've got Shane, who's asking, "What do you think I'll be scheduled for an interview for a green card for Sydney, documentary qualified in January 2024? Can I apply for a separate E3?" If you are documentary qualified in January, you won't be scheduled for at least 8 months, maybe 7 months. You can apply for an E3 in the meantime. There's no issue with that, but you're not going to get any interviews anytime soon. We got a bunch of people waiting here. Let's take Valeria, who's waiting patiently on video on our YouTube channel. Valeria, welcome to our show. And where are you from? And ask your question, please.
Hi, I'm from Peru.
Okay.
I have an F4 petition 17 years ago.
Okay.
And currently I'm in the US. So I want to know if an F4 can apply for adjustment of status while being in the US with a tourist visa. My priority date is current in the filing chart, the B chart of the visa bulletin, but it's not current on the final action chart yet. I entered in the US on December 15th last year, 2023, with the tourist visa.
Okay. So if you are current on the filing chart, which means that, and you're legal, which you are, which means somebody can file for their adjustment, but they're not going to be approved until the dates of filing are current. So you'll be able to file and get your work permit and get your travel document, but you're not going to get your green card until the dates of filing is current. So you could file. If you're legal here and you have enough time, you can file for your adjustment and stay here waiting for the dates to become current. Correct.
And will I wait when I won't be without status?
You won't be without status because you're going to file for the adjustment before your tourist visa expires, correct? You still have your tourist visa.
Yes.
Correct? So as long as you file your adjustment, you're going to get your receipt. You can stay here even if it's going to expire your tourist visa because you filed it on time.
Okay. So is it possible for an F4?
It is possible because you're current. You waited for what, 18 years, 16 years?
17.
17 years, and you finally came here. It's perfect timing. You can definitely, we're doing a few of those cases right now. So like I said, if you need help, just use the number here and I'll be more than happy to help you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay? Good luck, of course. It's kind of interesting to see that because, this person, she's been waiting for 17 years for her siblings' petition to be current. She's not current yet fully, but because she's in the US, remember there are two charts. One of the charts is current. It's for people that are currently in the United States. And because she's in the United States, she's able to file for her adjustment. And then she's going to wait here. Even if it's going to take another year, it doesn't matter. She'll be able to get a work permit. And it's the same true for a lot of people that are in the F2A category, spouses of green card holders who are currently legal in the United States. If their dates of filing chart is current, they can file, get a work permit, wait in the country until the green card eventually will be adjudicated. It's better than nothing. So that's great. We have a lot of good questions here on YouTube. Let me see here. What about if you're international? Of course, yeah, we can help. We can help clients again in all 50 states, but also across the globe. You don't have to be in the US. We can help you no matter where you are in the world, which country. We can help you with your case. All you have to do is just get a hold of us. And Ivan is asking, can you tell us more about the U visa? The U visa, and I have my F1 status if I apply for the U visa. So the U visa is a visa that is available for victims of crime. Let's say you're here on a tourist visa or U visa or student visa like Ivan, who is here on on a student visa. If you're a victim of a crime, you can apply for the U visa, but still maintain your student status. You don't have to lose your student status because you want to be able to, kind of like if you need to leave the country or whatever. So the U visa will work on a parallel. It's a process that may take several years. You need a certification from a DA's office or the police to support the fact that there's a case going on. And it will be working parallel with your student visa. So yeah, it's possible. Absolutely. If you qualify, definitely do that. Question from SAS: how long is it UCIS taking to issue the VAWA travel documents? I filed my 765 before. I received the work permit, but not the travel. Right now people are reporting about 10 months wait for those documents. So it's not unusual that you're waiting for 7 months. All right, guys. So we have Maria is asking, can you give us detailed examples of advanced parole, please and thank you. So advanced parole reasons could be medical. So people want to go visit their dentist overseas. It could be educational purposes. You're going for a conference, employment. You can go visit a sick relative member. You can even go visit a grave. All these are examples of successful advanced parole that we've done. And remember, I told you that we don't know what's going to happen with DACA. We don't know what the future is going to be. If you can apply for advanced parole, you should do it because you just never know. Advanced parole will give you legal entry, and that's going to help you a lot in your green card process in the future. Edith is asking, can my parents apply for public assistance after 5 years of residency without affecting the sponsor? Yes. There are certain financial benefits that will not impact your green card. Not every financial assistance will impact your green card, so check on that. Make sure that it's not going to be an issue. I don't think it's going to be a problem in your case. Andy's asking, how long does it take? This is a question from TikTok. How long does it take after you get your naturalization application in to get an interview? So it depends on where you are in the country. As I mentioned before, if you are in a place like Cleveland, Ohio, it's taking about 4 months. If you are in Florida, it's longer. Los Angeles, about 6 months, 7 months. So it depends on where you are in the country to get it. But it's not too bad. It's definitely under a year in most places. Will we hope for F4 category Pacific Priority Date 2009? Like I said, there is hope. There is hope, especially if we're going to see something like that bill that I just mentioned in the beginning of the live stream. If the bill is going to pass, there's going to be a lot of hope for all the family petitions because they're going to influx more visa categories into the system, and so everything is going to move faster if this bill is going to pass, of course. But again, we don't know if it's going to pass, but it is a possibility. Nani is asking, if my MVC has been approved, how long does it take to get your interview and it's in Ghana? So if your documentary complete, that's great, but you still have to look and make sure that your priority date is current. It's not enough just to be documentary complete at National Visa Center. You need to have essentially the priority date. It must be current for the system to be able to allow you to get an interview. We've got Khan, who is interested in asking a question on video. If you're watching this on TikTok and you want to ask a question on video, request me and I'll add you. And also, if you're here and you're for the first time on TikTok, please follow my account so you don't miss any of my videos. And the same thing for the YouTube viewers. Subscribe to the channel if you're here for the first time so you don't miss any of the that we do and the new videos that are being released. And also share the video with your audience. The 3 dots on your screen, just click it and share it, and follow my account, please. Khan, where are you from and what is your question?
I'm from Afghanistan.
Okay.
I'm based in Los Angeles.
Okay.
So my question is, I'm U.S. Permanent resident since 2015.
Okay.
And from during that time until now, I lived in the United States almost for more than a year.
Okay.
So from last 3 years, I didn't travel outside the United States.
Okay.
Am I qualified for the naturalization?
So in the last 3 years, You have not traveled for how long?
In the last 3 years, I didn't I didn't travel outside the United States.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, like I said, I mentioned it before. For us I can't give you a yes or no answer because I have to look at your dates of travel. We literally kind of go through a process of analyzing your trips. For anyone who wants to know if they qualify for citizenship, we need to look at your trips in and out. We calculate and we see if you meet the threshold of the government. So the easiest thing for you to do, just book a call so I can evaluate if you meet the requirements. I just don't want to tell you yes or no without looking at your dates. You know what I mean? But it should be a very simple process. Looking at your dates, if I feel that you meet the threshold, great. If not, I'll tell you how many days you have to wait longer to qualify. Remember, the USCIS, they're quite strict in terms of the requirements. They want to make sure you have enough and um, physical presence and also the days to qualify in terms of your 3 or 5 years, depending on how you got your green card. So once I look at those dates, if I feel that you qualify, I will let you know.
Thank you, sir. I will do the.
Yeah, just use the link in my bio or the phone number there. The phone number is listed. Like I mentioned, anybody who is interested in just booking a consultation, you just go to my bio right now. You'll see two things. You see a number and a link. You can use one or the other, whatever is easy for you guys. It's probably going to be the best. Thanks a lot, guys, for that. Right. Second question here. Uh, Duane is asking, how long will we take to get an interview scheduled after National Visa Center say document you qualify since December? Remember, if your dates are current and your document you complete, give yourself 6 months. 6 months before you'll be able to get an interview in most embassies. If you're dealing with bad embassies like Islamabad, Mumbai, Lagos, you're looking at over a year after you get document you complete. So it depends on the embassy. When will the visa bulletin movement for regular F4 category? Probably probably after the spring of 2024, I'll be able to give you more data about the movement. But right now, it's just very difficult to say because nothing happens. Meg is asking, I'm in the process for asylum. Can I still apply for marriage-based green card? And the answer is yes. Even if you go through asylum, you can still, if you're married to a U.S. citizen, you can switch your asylum to the green card process. If your asylum is in the court, you're going to do the green card in court. If your asylum is administrative, you'll be able to switch your asylum to file with the USCIS. But you can switch your asylum and move it to a marriage-based green card. Disparia says processing time on the USCIS website is a mess. Absolutely. Whatever dates you see, thanks, Christine, appreciate it. Whatever dates you see on the USCIS website, they're not real. Their dates are completely bogus, and you can't trust what they say there. So don't rely on that. And that's the reason why a lot of people are suing the USCIS for delays. We're doing a lot of lawsuits in citizenship cases. We also have a lot of lawsuits against embassies and consulates that are delaying our clients' cases. They don't schedule them for interviews, even though they've been waiting for over a year. So remember, 2024 is going to be a year for litigation. A lot of clients are going to be used the mandamus lawsuit. And the whole purpose of the mandamus is to force the government to make a decision on your case. So if your case is being delayed, if you're stuck, whether it's a citizenship or a marriage petition or going through a work permit or even DACA situation, you should be able to file a mandamus, sue the government, and force them to make a decision on your case. Again, every case is a case by case, but a lot of litigation is happening this year. We've been very successful in getting our clients' cases unstuck from the process, specifically with very difficult consulates like Mumbai, Islamabad, Lagos, Rio de Janeiro, and some embassies in Canada as well. They've been really, really slow and very ineffective. So do not shy from the process of suing the government. It's not going to hurt you. They're not going to do anything to you. So let's see. Really good questions here on TikTok. Inez says 601A got transferred. What does that mean? So remember, a lot of cases are being transferred, specifically 601 cases. The reason why is that they're working on your file. They're working, they have different adjudication units. It's not a bad thing that they moved your case. This is happening with 601 A cases, 601 cases, and also in VAWA cases. They're moving them between different offices. That means that they are working on your case. There's no problem in your case. They are working on your case. So don't worry. If your case is being moved, it's a good thing. Can I fly to Houston even if I have been to state and federal prison? You should be able to. As long as you have a valid ID, you should be able to fly, even though you've been to prison. But I wouldn't leave the country if I were you. Yusuf is asking, let me see here. Shayeb, not Yusuf. Is this month will be hopeful visibility movement for F4 category? No, I don't think F4 is going to move this month, but I told you, let's see what happens after spring. All right, let's see. How long can I remarry after my divorce? How long can I adjust my status? So essentially, if you were married and now you were trying to get a green card, you can just you can literally remarry right after divorce. There's no cooling off period. You can marry anytime. Let's see here. So yeah, so there's no cooling off period. You can marry anytime. Do they interview for VAWA's cases? I mean, there's no interview for the actual I-360, but there could be an interview for the adjustment of status. It's possible. Daphne is asking, my lawyer filed for I-130 for my 18-year-old in 2018. Became a citizen 2020, case approved. My lawyer didn't upgrade to F2B. Can it be up now? Yes, you can do it right now. There's no wait time on the upgrade. So once you change your position in the line, you can upgrade the National Visa Center and they will update your case as well. Okay, so who wants to join us on video? We've got the Gillette family. Let's see here. What's your name and where are you from? And if you can put your video, it will be really good. Hi, how are you? What's your name and where are you from? And ask your question.
Oh, hi. My name is Lisette. I'm calling from California, but I'm calling for a friend.
Okay.
She got married, and she's been here probably about 18 or 17 years, but she got married recently. And
she married a citizen?
Yeah, married to a citizen, but she got deported when she was caught crossing at 18.
Okay.
And then got deported with a fake ID. Can she get her papers through marriage?
So if she got deported, the first thing I would do, and that's answer for everyone. If somebody has deportation or multiple reentries or any issues with immigration, the first thing I would do is we need to order her file from immigration. We do this for the FOIA process. The reason why it's important is because I need to see what is her status about, what records the government they have on her, right? So we need to do the FOIA number one. Once we get the FOIA, we can determine if she qualifies for anything, even if she marries a U.S. citizen. So in her case, feel free to, like I said, to use the link in my bio or the phone number that is listed there to book an appointment. Okay. And the first thing I'll do for somebody like her is order her records from the government. It's going to take about 6 to 8 months. And then we'll see in the file, okay, this is what the situation is. This person qualifies for this, this, or this. Or she might not qualify for a lot, but we'll give her a roadmap what she has to do to qualify at some point. You know what I mean? Some people don't qualify. Some people, like I have a case right now, somebody that was removed multiple times. And not only that, but he also falsified a U.S. passport. And so somebody like that not only has the multiple reentries, but also he has a false claim for U.S. citizenship, which creates a lifetime bar. But he didn't know about this until I did his FOIA. He had no idea. He forgot that he had this issue 7 years ago. I did his fingerprints. I ordered the FOIA. I found the false claim for citizenship. I told him, listen, my friend, I would have helped you with the 2 reentries, but with the false claim that we just discovered, I would have you wait and save your money for now. The same thing with people. Too many people are going to lawyers. Go ahead.
Do you know if that like alerts,
No, that's a good question. That's a good question. So she's asking, if we do a FOIA for a client, does this alert the authorities to the fact that somebody is looking in the file? No. The FOIA is done by the attorney, or anybody else can do it. Nobody knows about it. It's under the Freedom of Information Act. It's by law. Everybody has the right. Nobody's going to be triggered by this. And we do this. It comes to my office. Nobody knows about it. But it's essential to do it, because you'll be surprised what we can find in a FOIA that can help the client to first of all, save them from the hardship of filing something that can fail, but also not put themselves in a worse position. Like I said, so many people go to notarios, even lawyers who have no idea what they're doing. They file paperwork, and then I realized that they hurt themselves, wasted money, and now they're in a worse position. So in her case, we'll do the FOIA and we'll go from there. Sounds good?
Yeah, it's good. She has 2 kids with the person that she married. No, 3 kids that she married.
Yeah, that's fine. Like I said, the marriage right now is not going to matter until I do the FOIA. Once I do the FOIA, I research this person, I find out if we can help her, and then we'll include the marriage into the process. Okay?
You said everything is in your link, right?
Go to the profile. You'll see a link or a phone number. Use either the phone number or the link, whatever is easier, and book it.
Okay, good. Thank you so much.
Anytime. So this is why we're doing these lives. The idea is to help as many immigrants as we can. The point is, it's what I realized in practicing for 20 years is that people make mistakes because they don't have the knowledge. They don't know that this is something that is possible. This is something that is not. They go and they pay money to attorneys and paralegals and know what they're doing, and all they want to do is take their money. And I give an example, and specifically in the VAWA space. The VAWA is a very powerful tool. It can help you get a green card if you've been abused mentally, emotionally by a U.S. citizen spouse or a child. But a VAWA is not a catch-all. You cannot just invent that you've been abused. And there's many attorneys, even on TikTok, by the way, who advertise, we can help you stay in the U.S. We can help you get a green card without leaving, fix you without leaving. You've seen those TikToks. You've seen those attorneys. Be careful, because there was an attorney in New York, and just recently he was charged with fraud because he faked those VAWA cases, and all his clients that he helped get VAWA, guess what? Now they're going to be investigated by the government. Now they're going to be losing their green cards because they went and they listened to an attorney who convinced them to do a fake VAWA. So if you don't have it, don't do it, right? Don't invent things that are not happening to you. If you were subject to abuse in your marriage, fine, of course. That's why we have VAWA. But don't create fake stuff. It will hurt you. If it's not going to happen now, it will hurt you in a few years. All these clients that were affected by this attorney are going to be losing their green cards because they fell into this scam. So if it's too good to be true, don't fall for it. And you see those people here on TikTok as well. They're flashing those approvals, the envelopes with the approvals, and they make you believe that you can do VAWA. It's not that simple. All right, guys, let's take some more questions. And let's see. Who is that New York attorney? His name was Coffee, and he's in prison right now. But there are many others who copy that lawyer, and you see them on TikTok. They try to tell you, there's a way to keep you in the country. Well, and again, I had a client who came to me the other day and it's like, well, this attorney told me that it's so easy. I can tell that my child abused me. I'm like, did your child abuse you? No. So why would you do that? Well, because she told me I can get a work permit and a green card within 6 months, but your child didn't abuse you. But she told me it's so easy because nobody's going to find out. But your child didn't abuse you. And if somebody finds out, they'll take away your green card. So don't do it. If it didn't happen, don't do it. If it happened, of course. So be careful, guys. That's just why, we need to be careful. His name is Coffee. Yeah. His name is Coffee. Coffee something. Thanks, Anna. I appreciate it. We have a lot of clients here, a lot of people that come to the lives every day, and I appreciate you guys. Okay, let's take some more questions from our YouTube community here. Can you file I-3045 concurrently online? Yes, you can. And remember, if you're gonna file your immigration fees online after April of 2024, they're gonna make it cheaper to file online as opposed to use paper, because they want to encourage people to file online. So they're going to make it cheaper to buy $100 or something to file online. So I mean, I usually like to file with paper because we just keep track of everything in the office. But some cases we file online. Zoe is asking for March visa bulletin. Can priority date go to March 2020 and the final action date for F2A? It is possible, but I don't have predictions for March yet. And I'm telling you, don't rely on this too long because let's see what happens with the new bill. And once again, if you want to talk to me on video, you're watching this on TikTok, request me below. If you're here for the first time, please follow my account so you don't miss any of my videos and the lives, and share the live as we watch it right now. And yes, we practice in all 50 states. We can help you from our office in San Diego, but we also have an office in the East Coast in Connecticut. And the easiest thing to do is just go to my profile. You'll see a link, click the link, or there's a phone number. If you don't want to use the link and you want to use your phone, just text the number that is listed on my profile. Both will lead you to the same place. And then our nice team members will help you. And just mention that you were on the live, drop a heart in the text, let them know that you want to talk to us. And that's what we're here for. And the same thing for our YouTube community. This number is for you guys. Text it, book the call, drop a heart in the text, let them know you're coming from the live, and we'll be able to serve you. King is saying, I've been following you for a very long time just to get information. Can you make a video for me about I moving of visa at U.S. Embassy in Senegal? Sure. I'll do a video for Senegal and other embassies. We have a team of researchers that checks different embassies, and we provide data for our clients, but also we post it on our YouTube channel. So I'll be making some videos with different embassies. The whole idea of doing the content, because people ask me, what do you post on these videos? Why you spend your time on TikTok? And the reason is because the more you educate people about immigration, the easier it will be for us to work with them. Because when clients come to us and they already understand what they have to do when they apply for a work visa, like EB3 or national interest waiver, they provide all the documents already because they saw my videos. It's much easier to work with these clients because they already know, they already explained their employer that this is what they need to be able to get sponsored. For example, I posted the video letting people know that H-1B season is going to start in March 6th. As soon as we knew when the government announced the dates, I immediately announced it on my YouTube channel and TikTok, and people started getting ready, talking to their employers, saying, hey guys, H-1B season is going to be open in March. We need to get sponsored. Please help us with the paperwork. The attorney on the video told us what we have to do. So when they come to our office, they're already informed. They know that they already have to bring the documents from the employer. They have to do this. They have to provide the education. So it is easier when people watch the videos. They're already educated about what they have to do. And now it's important because imagine you're not aware that H-1B visas can only be filed between March 6th and March 19th. And then they close the registration, and then you lose the H-1B visa for the whole 2024. If you watch my videos, you know that H-1B visa, which is the work visa, if you have an employer, your employer can sponsor you. Now is the time to talk to your employer, get him to commit to sponsor you, and speak to an attorney. If you didn't watch my videos, you wouldn't know about it, right? So that's what we do in those videos, to educate you, to empower you. So when you actually come back to work with us, you have more information and you are much more, let me see. We answered this question already. Do we need a lawyer to file a writ of mandamus against the USCIS regarding immigration case? Yes. You need a lawyer because writ of mandamus, the lawsuit against the government, is filed in federal court. Only attorneys who are licensed in a particular state where the government agency is can file writ of mandamus. So even for us, when we file the lawsuit against State Department, I work with my colleague who is licensed in the District of Columbia to be able to file against the State Department. So yes, you cannot file a mandamus on your own. You have to be a licensed attorney to file a lawsuit against the government. It's going to a federal court. And the whole point of mandamus is to tell the federal court, listen, we've waited all this time, and USCIS or the embassy, they're not doing their job. They're not giving me even an answer. And the federal court says, yes, this is unreasonable. And they call immigration. They say, you guys have 30 days now to give a decision to this client. And that's what they're going to do. If your case gets approved in the federal court, they will force USCIS to give you an answer. Now, it doesn't mean the answer is going to be an approval, but it means that they'll give you an answer so you don't have to wait 6-7 years to know what's happening in your case. Anna is asking a good question about a DUI. Would a DUI in Canada that took place over 14 years ago affect my ability to apply for a work visa, such as a TN? Not necessarily. Specifically with DUIs, the longer time goes by, the easier it is. I would get some kind of a clearance letter from your criminal attorney in Canada just to explain that you've done your probation, you paid the fine, and when you apply for the visa at the U.S. port of entry, they should consider the fact that you have not had any other offenses in the 14 years since it happened, and you should be okay to get a TN visa. But again, I would definitely use an attorney to apply for this particular TN with a criminal record to be able to provide some sort of a memo to show the government why you still qualify for this visa, even though you have a DUI. And that is true for any other visa that has that restriction. Can a permanent resident apply for citizenship with an adjudicated youthful offender status in New York? It depends on when you had the status. It depends on if you had probation. In most cases, you can, because remember, citizenship has a lot of discretion. You might be considered to be a person of bad moral character, but it's been over 4 years since this registration happened. You should be fine. Can you please put a link for a call request? Yes. This is it. If you want to call, it's also right here above me. You can see it right here, but this is the actual information. If you're watching on YouTube, use this phone number, text it, and make sure that you mention you were on the live. And also for our TikTok viewers, if you're on the show right now, go to my bio. You'll see a phone number there. Use it, text it, or use the link. If you don't want to text, the same thing will take you to the same place. Zoya is asking on TikTok, how long does the I-129 K1 visa take to get the embassy in Malaysia? Remember that it's taken about a year for the forms to be approved, and then another year for your case to go to the embassy. So for fiancé visa, it's taking about 2 years. Let's see. Anybody who wants to join us on video? I think Zoya is interested to join us on video. Enrique is asking, are you a lawyer for immigration? Yes, this is what I do. And if you're here for the first time, Enrique, please follow my account. And I'm happy to help you with your immigration matters. Zoya, where are you from? If you can put your video, put your video. If you can't, no worries. And let me know what your question is.
I'm from the U.S., particularly in Maine.
Okay.
My question was, you have already answered, but I have just submitted my I-129F on October.
Oh, your K1. Yeah. I
have
just answered it.
Yes. And I have received my receipt number and everything, but I'm still waiting for the Malaysian embassy to receive it.
Okay.
So I was asking, how long does that take?
From the moment your case has been sent to the embassy, probably about maybe 6 months, maybe less. Within 6 months, they should be able to process it.
Okay, what would that change my case also if I have a child with my fiance? Would that change my status of?
No, you're just gonna have to add the child, but it's not gonna change your status.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you.
All right. All right, guys. Let's see what we have here. All right. Could a stepmom file I-130 for stepson? Yes, as long as the marriage took place before the age of 18 of the stepchild. If anything after 18 is not going to work. We've got Jorge here is asking, I'm undocumented. I've been deported 2 times. Can I fly with my just passport Mexican? Yes, you can. Priority date, February 2020, visa category F2, embassy Ethiopia. When do you think my interview is going to be? Well, I mean, you have at least another year to wait with this priority date. I mean, right now they're very slow, but if this new Congress bill, and those of you that are joining right now, I mentioned at the beginning of the live. If you're watching this on YouTube right now, I'm going to share my screen again. As I mentioned in the beginning of the live, we talked about the new bill that was introduced yesterday, the bipartisan border security bill, which is a small mini immigration reform. It has a lot of provisions. I'm holding it right now on the screen here on YouTube. Basically, it has a lot of provisions there that will speed up the immigration process. It will also shut down the border. If too many people are crossing, 4,000 more people every week going to cross, they're going to shut down the border. They're trying to have like a plus and minuses. It's also going to speed up the asylum, but it's going to also take away asylum from judges and bring it to immigration officers. And also, it will create influx of visas, new visas into the family-based categories and employment-based categories. That is going to be one of my favorite provisions. 250,000 new visas are going to be inserted into the pool, which means it's going to speed up the MVC processing. It's going to speed up the interview processing. If it passes, more and more people are going to be able to get interviews. So let's see if this is even a possibility. Again, this is just a bill. It will be voted on Wednesday. So of course, I'll keep you posted. But this is the beginning of immigration reform discussion for 2024. You're going to see more bills coming up in the spring. We're going to see a DACA bill. We're going to see maybe a bill potentially to legalize the 20 million undocumented immigrants, which wasn't discussed in this particular bill. But again, remember, this bill is focused on security. It's tied to the budget of Ukraine and Israel. So they can't really do too much, but they do include some immigration in it because they want to be able to show that administration is doing something for immigration before the elections. Clearly, Trump and the Republicans, they really have no intention to for this to pass, because for them it's better that there's chaos at the border. It's going to help them, as they go through the process. But it's interesting to see that at least we're starting to talk about some changes, right? Maybe this bill is not going to pass, but at least we see what's possible. We see what might happen. They're going to bring more visas into the pool. They understand that people cannot wait any longer for their MVC cases to be processed. People don't want to wait anymore for immigrant visa interviews. That's why they're including these extra visas in this bill to speed up the processing of this. Manan is saying, my brother doesn't have an I-94, though we entered legally. Can he still apply for adjustment of status? Yes. So what he's going to have to do is the following. And you can text me so I can help you with this. So basically, if you don't have an I-94, you have to apply for Form I-102. It's a special form that will allow you to retrieve the I-94. Okay, that's what your brother has to do. And then he can apply for adjustment while he's in the US. And again, if you want help with this process, it's a very interesting process, but it will help your brother to get his green card. Miss Anna is asking, as an immigration attorney and immigration consultant, what is the difference from you as an attorney to them, please? So it's a good question. Anna is asking, what is the difference between immigration attorneys like me, who are licensed, and notarial immigration consultant? Immigration attorneys, we have a law degree. We go to law school. We pass the bar. We have to be licensed. We go under the bar regulations. The bars control the attorney's conduct and work. Immigration consultants, they're not regulated by anyone. They're not keep up to date with the law. Most of them are unfamiliar with the depth of the law as attorneys. They cannot go to court. They can't represent you before immigration because they're not licensed in anything. They just do forms. That's all they do. They do forms and they make mistakes. That's pretty much what they do. So there's a big difference between a consultant and an immigration attorney who's licensed and they follow the law. They get, so that's pretty much the difference. Can you tell me about the Turkish embassy in Ankara? The U.S. embassy in Ankara is very, very slow right now. And I wouldn't move my case to Ankara if I didn't have to, because Ankara is essentially very much behind on most cases. Let me see here. Will our K1 get denied if my fiance has a restraining order from his ex-wife in the U.S.? I mean, it depends. Was there domestic violence? Was there, it depends on what the reason behind it. But normally it shouldn't, no. Jen is asking, my husband had a 10-year bar. Is he eligible for a waiver until 2020? What are his possibilities to come back? So he's not eligible for the waiver. He wasn't eligible, so he can do it now. 2020 is behind us, so he should do the waiver now. He might need actually two waivers. One is a 601, and the second waiver is a permission to reapply to come back to the United States. Let's see, we got Queen who is asking for a video call, and we are Queen. Welcome to our show. Where are you from, and what is your question? Can you hear me? Hello?
Sorry. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yeah. I was like, can't you hear me?
I was trying to read the comments on the YouTube because I'm also watching it over
Oh,
there.
you're watching on YouTube as well? Oh my God. How does it like you, because you can see my thing on you saw my what I wrote down all the points, right?
So
Nice.
it's about a 2.5-second delay from what I've seen.
Okay.
But everything looks okay to me with the changes that they're trying to make. My main concern is how everything's going on with the asylum seekers. They're not controlling it at all in the border. From my point of view,
Right.
because we live in Arizona. So I'm worried that that's going to strongly affect DACA in the court rulings. And since it's been almost 12 years now that we've had DACA,
Right.
we're like really struggling to find out, are we going to keep it or are we not? I'm set to renew in June myself, so that's why I'm worried. Like, everybody keeps telling me, do advance parole and advance parole, and I'm like, okay, I can do that, but
Right.
what if in between then, like, things happen?
Yeah. Well, I think that the situation at the border is definitely concerning, and that's the reason why you can see that if the beginning of the provisions in what I described before is focused on the border, they're actually going to put provisions to shut down the border if more people are going to come, and they're trying to make people understand that it's not just about helping immigrants, but it's also keeping the country safe. So the Republicans are going to push this. But again, I think the reason DACA wasn't included in this particular one is because I do feel that DACA is going to have its own separate bill. It deserves a separate bill. There are too many people in the country that have DACA that need help in terms of like a path for legalization. And so I'm pretty confident that something will happen about DACA, either because of a court ruling that will happen soon, or they'll be forced to do something about it. But I mean, this is the first bill that addresses immigration. It's not a pure immigration bill. It's part of this funding bill for Ukraine and Israel. So it has a lot of components that might not allow it to pass. And maybe that's the reason why it's linked within this. But the fact that they're bringing it up, the fact people are talking about, the fact that we are seeing that they're trying to address the visa backlog, which is a major one in this bill. They're trying to bring the Afghans Legalization Act, which is something that they've talked about for years. And you're looking at people that are in the U.S. not able to work, family members of visa holders. They're going to give them the work permit. So, they are doing some things, obviously. But is this bill going to pass? I don't know. I mean, it's going to be hard to see it pass with the current, the way that it's structured. But even if it passes the Senate, that it's not the end of it. It still has to pass the House. And if it comes to the House, I feel like it's not going to pass. It's not going to move through the House unless they come up with their own version, which is going to be slightly different. But it's the beginning of an immigration discussion. And I agree with you. I think we need to have a solution for DACA. And I'm very concerned about the DACA applicants. We have a lot of clients that are DACA. I have a lot of employees at our firm that actually have DACA. And I think that we'll see what happens, right? But it's a beginning. So thanks for your for bringing this issue, and let's see what happens.
Thank you so much for helping us and helping answer some questions.
Of course, we'll keep doing that. All right, guys. Let's see. We have another one here on our YouTube. Have you noticed faster approvals from the 601A after the HART? I have seen it, but it's been faster, but it's not as fast as we thought it would be, but it's definitely a little bit faster. But think about it, 601As have been going on for 3.5 years. So it's not enough. Mr. Real, is there any backlog in issuing I-797 notice of action from USCIS? Yes, there's a delay of about 4 weeks in receiving receipts. And that was the last question for our YouTube streamer for today. We'll be back here tomorrow. I think tomorrow is our last day on the 20-day cycle stream. So it'll be a pretty cool show. We'll be talking about a few other things that we'll be announcing. So we still have a few more questions to take from TikTok. We're not over the show here, but with YouTube, Facebook, and our Instagram page, we'll be ending the stream right now. Be back here tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific time to finish our 20-day stream set and come back with your questions if I didn't catch you today. All right, guys. So we'll see you on Tuesday.